Welcome to the Lincoln City Council meeting of January 10th, 2022. In accordance with LB 898, please be advised that a copy of the Opens Meeting Act is posted at the back of the chamber by the northwest door. Let us all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief period of silent meditation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The order of business of the City Council is as follows. The clerk will call the items listed on the agenda. Under public hearing, anyone wishing to speak on an item should come forward after the clerk reads that item. The council shall require any member of the public desiring to address the council to identify themselves, the name of an organization or group, including an address that you may be representing by such person or group, unless the address requirement is waived to protect the security of the individual. The applicant may then make one short rebuttal. Each speaker should begin by stating their name, address, organization, or group, and whether you're speaking in favor of or in opposition to that item. Testimony is limited to 5 minutes per speaker. After all public hearings, the council will vote on resolutions and items listed under third reading. On the second and last Mondays of the month, immediately prior to adjournment, anyone may speak on any issue not on the agenda for that date nor planned for a future agenda. Will the clerk please call the first item of business?
Our first item of business for Monday, January 10th, 2022 is an announcement. We will not have a city council meeting on January 17th, 2022 due to the Martin Luther King Day Memorial Holiday. Next would be our Mayor's Award of Excellence.
Good afternoon, members of the council. Chairman Bowers, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here once again before you to present the Mayor's Award of Excellence for July 2021 to Assistant City Controller David Schuler from the Accounting Division of our Finance Department. City Controller Melinda Jones nominated Dave in the categories of customer relations and productivity for his amazing efforts to help the city claim COVID-19 reimbursements under the Federal CARES Act. The pandemic has challenged all of us to adapt, to work differently, and to take on new challenges. And in addition to all of his regular duties and responsibilities, Dave stepped up in a very big way to ensure that the city could both deliver and continue to pay for the services that we provide to the public and to cover the additional costs incurred as a result of the pandemic. Dave first had to determine which expenditures were reimbursable under the CARES Act, and that took a lot of intense research and many phone calls to the state agency and the accounting firm that the state had contracts with to handle the filings. He reviewed payments to determine if they were eligible and recorded those in a reportable spreadsheet. He checked invoices to determine which items purchased for the COVID response so that he could record a per price per item on FEMA summary sheets. He responded to the many requests from FEMA for more detail, which led to more research on the payments and filings and filling out more forms. And as the city's COVID-19 response continued, Dave steadfastly undertook the process to report everything appropriately to FEMA. And his submissions to the state went through both a regional and a national review. And these agencies, of course, asked for even more information. And all of this work was under really tight timelines during moments of great uncertainty. As a result of Dave's excellent work, the city secured about $900,000 in pending and approved reimbursements for COVID-19 expenditures at the end of February 2021. And nominator Melinda Jones wrote during this entire time, Dave was completing his regular duties and meeting all of his normal responsibilities and deadlines. So I hope that you will please join me in congratulating Dave Schuler for his incredibly hard work and his commitment to the city of Lincoln. Our interim finance director, David Young, would like to say a few words, and then we'll ask Dave if he'd like to say a few things.
Chairman Bowers, members of the council, thank you very much for the opportunity today. I have only had the distinct pleasure of working with David for about a year. In talking with his colleagues, this is not the first time David has gone above and beyond the call of duty. Generally, all of the hard problems land on David's desk. And for the last 22 years, he has come through for us. So this is just one example of a great employee who has contributed to our community over the long run. And I wanted to say personally, thank you, David, very much. Please.
I'd just like to say thank you to Melinda Jones for nominating me. My wife Anita is here. The finance department is here.
Again, thank you so much, and to all the finance folks who've helped us through such extraordinary time. And thank you for allowing us this moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all your work.
Good job, Dave.
Up next on our agenda is our consent agenda, sections 1 and 2.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak on items 1 or 2? Is Director Hoyle?
Yay.
Good afternoon, council members. Sarah Hoyle. I'm the Director of Human Services for the city and the county. I am here to speak on item 1, approving appropriations in the amount of $250,000 from the Keno Prevention Fund. Again, this is 5% of Keno revenue that comes in from both the city and the county. It's reappropriated back into the community for prevention and early intervention efforts. Any questions?
Seeing no questions, thanks so much for all your work, Director.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak on any of the items on 1 or 2? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on.
We can now vote on these items. Item 1A is approving appropriations in the amount of $250,000 from the appropriation of Keno lottery funds for various human services, introduced by McGinnis.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman McGinnis, seconded by Councilman Shob. Any discussion? Seeing none, may we please call the roll?
Raybold?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Shob?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1B is investment activity report for quarter ending November 30th, 2021, introduced by Raybold.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman McGinnis. Any discussion? Seeing none, may we please call the roll?
Washington?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Shob?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Items 2A through 2D was introduced by Shob.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman Beckius. Any discussion? Seeing none, may we please call the roll?
Ward?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Shob?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. That concludes our consent agenda. We'll move on to section 4, public hearing and liquor resolutions. I'll be calling items 4A and 4B together. Application of Norms Fuel and Fuel, LLC, doing business as Norms on 48th for a Class DK liquor license located at 2510 South 48th Street, and the related manager application of Stacy L. Sell.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on.
I'll be calling items 4C and 4D together. Application of Nishi 31 Inc., doing business as Gray Whale Ramen and Poke Bowl for a Class I liquor license located at 6100 O Street, Suite D6, and the related manager application of Xiao Sha Zhang and Nishi.
Hi, my name is Shasha. I'm glad to see you guys today. So I'm applied for the alcohol license for the Great Whale Ramen Poke Bowl and the Gateway Mall location. So most Great Whale location in downtown right now. So only one location will be in the Gateway Mall, kind of a little bit south part. So we, this location, we sell for the poke bowl, like a sushi burrito bowl, for everything with the healthy stuff. And we got the ramen bowl with the, you know, right now it's the winter. So we're trying to sell some stuff with the temperature hot. But I mean, for right now, since COVID, you know, most stuff right now, the most people, they don't want to go out right now. So we're trying to to make the sale up. So we apply for the alcohol license to, you know, to help for the all like a grade 1 location for this area. So, yeah, and I'm my personal the applying for the manager with the license too, so can control over everything with the restaurant right now. So, yeah, help, you know, like I hope so with the, you know, license can be approved, you know. Yeah, that should be it. Thank you. Kind of a little bit nervous with that. It's first time here, you know,
you did
so
great.
much people. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here that would like to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on.
Mr. Chair,
Councilman Job?
seeing no one else coming forward on items 4A through 4D, I'd like to move approval.
Second?
Moved and seconded by Councilwoman Raybold. Any discussion? Seeing none, may we please call the roll?
Beckius,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. That concludes section 4 of our agenda. We'll move on to section 5, public hearing resolutions. Item 5A is accepting and approving the report of new and pending claims against the city for December 1st through December 15th, 2021.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this item? Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on.
Item 5B is special permit 17022A, appeal of Dominion South LLC, James Beal amending the existing community unit plan to permit 835 dwelling units, including 462 multifamily units on approximately 152.26 acres on the property generally located at O Street and North 105th Street.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this item?
Hi there. My name is Catherine Dornbos. I live at 701 North 105th Street, 68527. I'm a resident of Stevens at Dominion Creek, or Stephen Creek at Dominion. And there was a request from the developer that is supported by the neighborhood for this meeting to be continued to January 24th. We're asking for the continuation because the developer has been asked for some additional site plans that have yet to be provided. It was the end of the year. He was extremely busy. The neighbors would like the opportunity to see those plans before a public hearing. So we just respectfully and humbly ask for you to continue that case to January 24th. And there's a number of other neighbors here. They also support that. We plan to have a number of others at the next meeting, but we would appreciate your support.
Thank you so much. Councilwoman Ward?
I would move to continue public hearing on this item 21R-598 until January 24th, 2022.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilwoman Washington. Any discussion? Councilman?
Clarification, this is to continue public hearing also?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, may we please call the roll?
Ward,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Washington, Schob,
Yes.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. We can now vote on item 5A, accepting and approving the report of new and pending claims against the city for December 1st through December 15th, 2021, introduced by McGinnis.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman Beckius. Any discussion? Seeing none, may we please call the roll?
Beckius,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. We can move on to section 6, public hearing ordinances, second reading and related resolutions. Item 6A is approving the lease agreement between City of Lincoln and Village of Malcolm for the lease space by Aging Partners for its Senior Center program at 137 East 2nd Street, Malcolm, Nebraska, for terms of 20 months from December 1st, 2021 through August 31st, 2023.
Good afternoon, council members. Randy Jones, Director of Department of Aging, also known as Aging Partners. This lease agreement, I might know Councilman McGinnis is multi-year. See that? There is no cost to this lease. It's for the use of the Malcolm Fire Department for a pop-up center from time to time to serve the aging community in that area. Thank you.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, thanks so much. Is there anyone else here that would like to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on.
Item 6 is approving a fourth amendment to the lease agreement between the city on behalf of the Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department and Enterprise Company, Inc. to extend lease terms for an additional 3 years from November 1st, 2021 through October 31st, 2024 for the Health Department's Women, Infants, and Children's program located at 27th and Cornhusker Highway.
Good afternoon. This is a location that the Health Department WIC Clinic has been at for almost 20 years now. And it's located right next door to the Super Saver store. And it's one of our really most productive sites that really serves a lot of women and children in the community. So we're excited that we continue to have the opportunity to lease.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none. Thank you so much, Director. Councilwoman Rabel, would you be willing to go get Richard? Thanks.
Item 6C and 6D I'll call together. Item 6C is Comprehensive Plan Conformance 21025. Application of the Urban Development Director to review as to conformance with the 2050 Lincoln Lancaster County Comprehensive Plan. A proposed amendment to the Lincoln Center redevelopment plan to add the Costwood Building redevelopment project, generally located at 311 South 7th Street, and the related change of zone 21046, application of Costwood management for a change from I-1 Industrial District and B4 Lincoln Center Business District to B4 Landmark with historic overlay on property generally located at 311 South 7th Street.
Good afternoon, Dan Marvin, Urban Development, 555 South 10th Street. This is a real exciting project. It's probably one of the first since we came through with our new master plan for Haymarket South. I'm going to go over a little detail. I know the representatives of the J.A. Woolham are here to speak too, so I'll try to keep my comments brief. Little history here. On December 1st, 2021, the Planning Commission voted 7-0 to recommend findings of conformance with the proposed amendment to the Lincoln Center redevelopment plan, which is what's before you today. On December 1st, Planning Commission also voted 7-0 and recommended approval with preservation guidelines associated with the change of zone that's before you. On November 18th, 2021, the Historic Preservation was given renderings and walked through the project that will be constructed, and they gave their unanimous support for this project. And then going all the way back to May 8th, 2019, this body and jointly working with the Joint Public Agency worked to identify, which I'll go into a little detail, of how this project helps and integrates with the park that would be built eventually to the west of this location. What you see here, the hatched area is the area that is the plan area, which is an area that is eligible for tax increment financing, and you'd see that the street along here is identified. The project site area, which I've got another rendering that I can show you in detail, and then the park area. These would be eligible areas for tax increment financing expenditures. The redevelopment and rehabilitation of the existing building, which is 40,482 square feet, is before you, and the completion of a 57,000 square foot 3-story building to the west is what would be before you as well. Here's kind of a rendering that gives you an idea of what we're building. The area that encompasses this project area immediately would be the existing J.A. Woolen building, and then the 57,000 square foot building that would be built to the west of there. Upon completion of the improvements, the building is expected to include approximately 98,000 square feet of light industrial and supportive office uses. The property owner has applied to the change of zone for the project site. Currently it's I-1. They changed the zone to B4, and this building would be compatible within the B4 area. The project is consistent with the Lincoln Center downtown redevelopment project area. And it's also consistent with the downtown master plan too, that was envisioned trying to create a talent pipeline in the downtown area to encourage people to who graduate from the University of Nebraska to live and work both here in the community and in the downtown area. One of the areas that I think is compatible with the park, my pin's going over about 35 parking stalls that would be on the north side of the project area. It's envisioned that during the daytime hours, those parking stalls would be used by Cotswold employees, but on the weekend and others, it would be a compatible area that would help complement parking out for patrons of the new downtown park. We'll also be able to create ingress and egress for pedestrians to go in and out of the park as well. So this project is integrated and is a real great complement to the future downtown park. I'll stop right there and I'll take any questions if you have any.
Are there any questions at this time? Okay, seeing none. Thank you so much, Director. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Mr. Seacrest?
Good afternoon. Kent Seacrest representing the J.A. Woolen Company. Sometimes you'll be hearing it as Coswell Management, LLC, but they're together. With me today is Kathy Rustermeyer and Jerry Cooney from the company. They'll make a short presentation, and then also before they make that presentation, Andrew Miners from Clark Anderson is going to show you the images and the renderings that have unanimously got approved by the Historic Preservation Commission, as Dan mentioned. And after that, we'll be able to take any other questions or comments you might have. So at this time, I think it's Andrew first. The best way to plug it.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us. I'm Kathy Rustermeyer from the J.A. Woolen Company. And I think we're going to start off just explaining a little bit about the J.A. Woolen Company. We'll go ahead and... So the J.A. Woolen Company was formally founded 34 years ago by Professor John Woolen. And he started off at the University of Nebraska with research that he was doing there and started this company. We currently have 66 employees. Many of our employees come from Nebraska schools, from Southeast Community College, the University of Nebraska. We have people who are PhDs, have master's degrees, bachelor's and/or associate's degrees. The Woolen Company creates an instrument called an ellipsometer. And I'm going to let Jerry Cooney explain what ellipsometers do.
Now, whether or not we can understand it might be a different story.
Hi, I'm Jerry Cooney. I'm an engineer with the J.A. Woolen Company. And Kathy could have done a fine job. So, yeah, we manufacture and sell, excuse me, ellipsometer systems throughout the world. What is an ellipsometer? In general, it's a non-destructive measurement tool used for measuring the optical properties of materials or measuring the thicknesses of thin films on materials down to even a single atom layer. The general concept of the instrument is that we bounce polarized light off of a sample under test. We analyze that light after it bounces off the sample. We use computer models to infer physical properties about the sample that was being measured. Go ahead. A lot of our success, all of our success is due to all of the hard work we do in research and development. This is part of our conference room, which shows plaques honoring patents, some of the patents we've received. We received over 200 patents altogether, and we're constantly applying for additional patents. This is an example of some of the instruments we've been making over the past 30 plus years. And finally, this is just a list of who our customers are. Our customers are corporate, national, and university research labs, as well as manufacturing facilities throughout the world. You'll find our tools used in semiconductors is probably our biggest customer, solar cells, advanced materials, and biochemistry. Any questions?
Are there any questions? Okay. Seeing none. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and I'm Andrew Miners with Clark & Anderson, and as you saw, the location of the project is in the Haymarket. Kind of a site plan for the future park, future development, and where J.A. Woolham positions itself. A little bit more in depth, we had talked about the parking, the pedestrian connection, and the addition to the west of this building. This is the current building. This is the east side, street side, what you see. It's got a long history. It's survived 2 fires. Has the existing dock on the east side as well. These are some of the details that we'll be emulating in the addition. This is the main front entry to the north of the existing building. So this is an image from the north looking towards the building and kind of how we related this new addition with the existing. The main limestone band that you see across there from the original building before the first fire, the punched windows and the rhythm that we're using to match the existing building to keep it within context. We're using the brick or matching brick that's on that building. Just getting into some more details, you see sort of those vertical lines, doing some columnar action, and kind of matching what's on that building for the entries. Sort of a bird's eye view from the northeast, overlooking the parking. We have a connection piece between the 2 buildings that sort of separates them using glass and a composite stone panel. That stone panel will match the limestone that's on that building. Street view from the same corner. If you're coming off N Street, coming around the parking garages, this is what you would start to see once this is completed. From the future park that would be there, what you would see as you're approaching from M Street there. This is the back dock side where the trucks would be unloading. What you see on the west side that would kind of face the park would be more the west and the northwest there. If you're at the park looking towards the building, there's an outdoor area that looks over the park as well. That's everything. Thank you.
Are there any questions at this time? Okay, seeing none.
Again, we're doing 2 things today: approving a redevelopment plan that will allow this to be a potential TIF project, and secondly, changing the zoning to B4 as well as a landmark designation. With that, we'd be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Councilman Beckius?
Just out of curiosity, and perhaps I missed it, is this an expansion to accommodate employees, or will there be other third parties that may be officing out of this building as well?
We are crunched at the moment, and so a lot of this is for our existing plus future growth. But until we catch up, might we do something on the 3rd floor temporarily with another? Yes, that's a possibility.
Any further questions? Councilman
A
McGinnis?
quick question. It says on our, that we're gonna change it from B4 to B4 landmark. Is there a zoning called B4 landmark?
Well, creates it as a landmark building, or you also have landmark districts. By creating a landmark building, it gives us, gives you more protection that we don't do pink doors or purple this or purple that. It also then allows us to accommodate the growth, because the existing building is in the floodplain. And we are going to do measures to minimize the flooding of the existing building. But there's no way we can flood-proof an existing building in the floodplain, given the standards that are out there. And so if we can't flood-proof and meet the standards, then we can't do the new building. But by the landmark designation, you don't have to flood-proof. So, plus, the building truly is historic. And Stacy Hageman, I want to thank her, just Stephanie Rouse, Hallie Salem, Dan Marvin, they've all been great to try to work through a pretty complicated little project. Well, it's a big project to us, that will be next to this beautiful park someday.
Any further questions? Seeing none, thank you so much, Mr. Sechrist.
Thank you so much for your time.
Is there anyone else here that would like to speak on this item?
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and move on.
Item 6E, amending Lincoln Municipal Code Chapter 2.18 Purchasing Division by adding a new section number 2.18.034 entitled Contractor Provisions to incorporate a bid incentive for apprentice utilization.
And there was a request to continue public hearing until February 28th. Who would like to?
Anybody who wants to speak on it? If
While
they're
you're
here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into the motion in a second, I just
Okay.
wanted to throw that out there, see if there's anyone here that would like to speak on this item, just to give folks the opportunity to speak today, but we will continue public hearing. Okay, seeing no one here, I would ask for a motion.
Been moved and seconded.
Moved by Councilman Becchia, seconded by Councilman Schob. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, let's do a roll call vote.
Raybold?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Okay, we can move on to Section 7, which is our ordinance's third reading and related resolutions. Item 7A is change of zone 19031A, application of MBH Land Holdings LLC for a change from AG Agriculture District to R3 Residential District PUD to O3 Office Park PUD and H4 General Commercial District PUD, and from R3 Residential District to R3 Residential District PUD to expand the existing Chateau planned unit development by 107.55 acres for 148,000 square feet of commercial floor area, 16 pump gas station, 221 single-family dwellings on property generally located at South 40th Street and Yankee Hill Road, introduced by Ward.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman McGinnis. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I please call the roll?
McGinnis?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes, but I believe, did you have something to throw there, Director Marvin?
I don't mean to interrupt, but the attorney that represents this thought that the law department might be bringing something down that was an amendment to this, and that wasn't discussed earlier, so I may be giving you bad information, but I just thought I'd check in
Councilman Washington?
before we get too deep into this.
I think we all got the amendment, but it's for the next item.
It's for the next item, okay.
Is that correct, Mr. C?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that one passes, right?
Yep, we're good with that one.
6C passed.
Can
7A.
7A.
7A. I'm only so far behind. Wake me up, will you?
Yeah, you want to go? Yeah.
Does
Oh,
he
is it-
need to stay away for the next?
So Beckius didn't vote. He excused himself?
Correct.
7A, right?
Yep, as long as we stay with the process,
He
we'll be
may
fine.
need to be out for 7B too.
The items were related.
Oh, it's related?
They're related.
It's related.
Okay, let's go ahead and,
So we haven't done 7B yet.
Item 7A, motion carried 6-0. Item 7B is approving the conditional zoning agreement between the city and MBH Land Holdings LLC, Highmark Land Investments LLC, and Guy Lamel for property generally located at east of South 40th Street between Granger Avenue and Yankee Hill Road, introduced by Ward.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman McGinnis. Any discussion?
We need a motion to amend. We have a
Yes.
copy of the amendment. You want to go ahead and make it?
I hereby make a motion to amend Bill number 21R-566.
Moved by Raybold, seconded by Washington. Any discussion on the motion to amend?
And this motion to amend adopts the substitute agreement that removes the concept of lead developer being lead. Lead developer being responsible for the required improvements and instead makes it the responsibility of all 4 landowners who are parties to the agreement.
Any discussion or any questions for Mr. C? Councilman Shob?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. See, I was just going to have you come up and say exactly what Councilwoman Raybold said. Do you have anything to add to that? I just wanted it read into the record.
Tim C., City Attorney, or Assistant City Attorney, Law Department. No, I wrote what she just said, so that is a good summary of it. Yes, sir.
Yay, thank you.
Did we get copies of signatures from all the?
Yep, they're in my office right now.
Okay, good.
Any further discussion on the motion to amend? Okay, seeing none, may we please do a roll call vote? Thank you, Mr. C. May we please do a roll call vote on the motion to amend?
Shob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Beckius, no Beckius, McGinnis,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
Okay, and now back to the main motion.
Shob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hunsaker.
Mr. Hunsaker didn't even stick around. He didn't even stick around.
Get home in time to have some chili. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Item 7C, approving the lease agreement between City and Rex and Jane Reamer for the lease of office space by Aging Partners for its personal and family services program located at 370 North 5th Street, David City, Nebraska, for a term of 1 year from September 1st through August 31st of 2022, introduced by Washington.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman McGinnis. Any discussion? Seeing none, may we please call the roll?
Raybold,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Shob,
Yes.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 7D is approving the lease agreement between the City of Lincoln and the Airport Authority of the City of Lincoln, Nebraska for the lease of buildings numbers 2690, 2699, Bays 1, 2, and 3 by the City of Lincoln Bureau of Fire Prevention for the storage of equipment and materials for a 3-year term from October 31st, 2021 through September 30th, 2024, introduced by Washington.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman McGinnis. Any discussion? Seeing none, may we please call the roll?
Beckius,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Shob,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 7E is change of zone 21049, application of Dial Properties LLC for a change from B1 Local Business District to R4 Residential District on property generally located at 6537, 6541, 6601, and 6607 Burlington Ave. Introduced by Washington.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman Beckius. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I please call the roll?
McGinnis,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Shob,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 7F is text amendment 21010, request of planning director to amend the Lincoln Municipal Code sections 27.02.260, 2772.020, 2772.070, and figure 2767.020 to clarify changes from the affordable housing text amendment package related to corner front yard and parking requirements in O3 and B3 and repealing same sections in the Lincoln Municipal Code as hereto existing, introduced by Washington.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded by Councilwoman Raybold. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I please call the roll?
Shob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 7G is approving the Centerpoint South Street redevelopment agreement between the city and Centerpoint South Street Project LLC relating to the acquisition, rehabilitation, and renovation of Traybert Hall generally located at South 11th Street and South Street, introduced by Washington.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman McGinnis. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I please call the roll?
Ward?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 7H is amending the fiscal year 21-22 CIP to authorize and appropriate $575,000 in tax increment financing for the Centerpoint Street redevelopment project, introduced by Washington.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman Beckius. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I please call the roll?
Beckius?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 7I is authorizing the issuance of tax allocation bonds for the Centerpoint South Street redevelopment project in an amount not to exceed $575,000, introduced by Washington.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman Beckius. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I please call the roll?
Raybold?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Okay. Section 8 is resolutions first readings, items 8A through 8K. Section 9 is ordinances first reading and related resolutions, items 9A through 9V.
Did you say V?
V,
As in Victor?
as in Victor.
That's like, we're in that alphabet there, weren't we?
Section 10, pending list, is items 10A, and section 11 is our pending list. Date, no, not certain, item 11A.
Public comment sessions will be on January 24th and January 31st.
Move to adjourn?
Second?
Moved by Councilman Beckius, seconded by Councilman McGinnis. Any discussion?
Nope.
Seeing none, may I please call the roll?
Raybold?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
We stand adjourned.